And here we are again with the next part of the problem with this whole system of the snake gods of commerce, basically, and trickery, is into the chemical companies. Now, again, here we are, the snake gods back. They're still in control, and here's a reminder of this whole Pharaoh Egyptian type system. And again, we're going to talk a bit more about, I mentioned before with Bayer is a big one. There are huge ones that were connected right back in World War II, where there is, you've got your healthcare area there. I mean, you just got to Google search this stuff. This is out there. This is what I couldn't understand when I started looking into this stuff, thinking, why do people not know this? The information is so available today. That's one good thing about the net. It's there. It's once you actually realise the history of this, it's not pretty. You could go on about that side of things, but the history is not pretty. So that's something, I mean, it's snuck up on us over so many years now. But like I say, they are right related. He who controls the food controls the world. And it comes like they got into healthcare, they're into crop science. We know it in New Zealand, the dairy industry and the whole Roundup and the glyphosate industries. It's just disgusting. When are we going to stop this horrible mess? It's crazy. What are we doing to our country? New Zealand, when's the zeal going to come back in? So, and it affects, of course, again, the DNA. Look at that. Does that look like something? The double cobra snake, there's like the catechus. This is where they can actually start controlling and owning you from this type of system. And then, of course, we've got the fertilizers and the things that they're spraying. So, and it's definitely not the best stuff to be sucking in or to be eating food from. And actually, the amazing thing is right back in the early days with Bayer, heroin was one of their early concoctions, but of course they took that off the market. Funny that, must have been too many side effects with that one. Whereas aspirin still is well known, as we know, and that's a Bayer company, which is definitely a huge headache. The thing is with Bayer, now the worst part of this chemical company is they've actually signed up, they've merged with Monsanto. So that's just a recipe for a great big chemical concoction that gives us, you might have to take 2 aspirins a day for this one now. And of course, we all, if you haven't, with Monsanto, we know, I mean, they got, Agent Orange, all these type of things. This is history. This is our land. You can see it in New Zealand already. Our land's just changed so much, and we're just doing the same thing what everybody else is doing. We're the first country that gets the light here. Maybe it's time that we actually, smell the roses and actually start being the first to actually doing the right thing as well. We're in a country that we could be doing this. We're separate to many nations, as you know, and we could be doing, clean green New Zealand. But our head, we've signed into in 1962 with Codex Alimentarius, and that's a problem. But as a people, as a nation, we could do something about that. Return to him is a good start. Of course, glyphosate, the Roundup, that's just in so many, what we use just regularly today. It's in, even just every Joe Blogs is using this. It doesn't have to be a farmer. We're using it in everything. But it's also getting into everything, including the chemical concoction with our tampons. It's in there. It's gross. And then, of course, not only is it feeding into the women's systems there, but then also we've got nursing care as well. And it's everywhere. The snake, like I said, over 90% of our food is owned from, like I say, the soil, the seed, and up. So they're getting more than mother's milk with that, I'm afraid. Then, of course, after with those type of things, then, fluoride's been a huge thing. There's our water. Not only has it got nitrates and everything else, which is just, again, it's the chemical concoctions from our type of farming we're doing today. But then we might as well, we might as well add another chemical to it. And I mean, fluoride. I mean, come on. What are we doing? This is there's so much information when you actually start looking at it. But when you know this whole system is fed by these snake gods, which we know now, this is the whole medical system and the whole health system is fed by these gods. Do you really believe what they're saying is truth? Seriously? Do you really think that? I mean, come on. And fluoride, I mean, it's a byproduct of aluminium smelters. I mean, you would hope that most people actually find that information. It's not a mineral from the soil. It's a byproduct. Sodium fluoride is a highly toxic poison, the active ingredient in rat poison. It's a neurotoxin that's been independent scientific research has been done to show this is toxic. It causes permanent changes in behaviour and stains, ruins white teeth, which is fluorosis. That's been evidenced by, I know, other people in the dentistry. They know this happens. This is true. It's got warning on the bag. It's toxic by ingesting. They say they don't use a little bit. That's okay. Come on, a little bit all the time. And it's not only in the water, but it's in everything else. When are we going to wake up? Come on, people. This is just crazy. And by the way, fluoride, anyway, regardless if you think it's healthy or not, it's not the area to give you good, strong, healthy teeth and bones. It's magnesium-rich foods will do that thing. So this is definitely not the answer, and it's not the answer to be adding it to our water supply, which is mass medication, which is actually against all human rights. We need to consent before we have medication, is what we're supposed to be doing. And the reason they do that because it can't be dumped. The fluoride, the aluminium byproduct, cannot be dumped into our oceans or rivers because of the toxicity of water life. Funny that. So let's just sell it on for humans, but that's okay because our government's fed from the taxpayer will pay more of course, these dollars. More of those again. Yeah, here it comes again. And to these companies, rather than paying, for collection of the hazardous waste, which will then be added to many of our oral health products, which can be sold as a profit. Then the government's controlled by ISIS, which is the gods, the money gods, will mandate the addition, so make it law, which is trying to go through government now. I think most people are aware of that in New Zealand. Will mandate the addition of extra fluoride to our water supply just for those who don't brush their teeth to save their teeth. Honestly, what about these guys? So this is for all the population. There's so many elderly that it's no use to them, and if anything, it's actually going to suck out more magnesium and minerals. And if you've got osteoporosis and kidney problems, that's a real problem. And like I said, after all that fluoride and many herbicides, you are now ingesting, it will suck out the magnesium more than anything. And this will just make us age quicker and quicker. And then we have to, of course, as we age, we get sick, and then we have to resort to other things. And our skin can be a big issue then, especially for the people who are cautious of their skin. So they'll go to another chemical. So skin's aging. And that's one thing I did notice myself. When I actually cleaned up the way I ate, I got rid of all makeup, because your skin started getting well from within. You don't get good skin from outside in. It's got to be internally. So anyway, so then we actually go to the makeup cabinet because our skin's getting older, or you got, wrinkles or whatever you got going on there. So then they put makeup on. So this is another toxic chemical company. And as you can see, look, this whole catechist system is well involved here as well. There's actually a cosmetic industry. There's actually they got what's called the ACSs, which is the Look Good, Feel Good program, which provides 30,000 women per year. I think this is in America actually from memory, per year with a free makeover and bag of makeup donated by the Cosmetic and Toiletry and Fragrance Association, which is all government controlled, which of course contain a number of environmental toxins. So the whole system feeds itself. So after we do that, then of course after a hard day at work, and you've been really busy all day at work, and it's nice to soak in, just want to get home and have a nice hot soak in the bath with a bit of, another company we can trust. Johnson & Johnson is actually in most people's bathroom cupboards. And look, does that look familiar? No, that looks like the double helix snake again. So where's this being fed? Again, it's definitely not from the heart. So after we soak in that, we have a relaxing soak in the tub. There's the, we're familiar with all those products from Johnson & Johnson. We have a soak in the tub with Bub, and then the children to bed. Yay, time to party. Hair and makeup's done. It's time to go out for a meal with the hubby or your partner or whoever. Hopefully avoiding all the fluoridated water. Don't forget. And, of course, don't forget the GMOs and the herbicides and the pesticides, because then you're ordering a healthy salad, so you're going to avoid all that, aren't you, as you're watching your calorie intake. Just as you head out the door, an unusual weather hits, which has not been forecast. Hoping now, of course, this is not to do with classic conspiracy theories here. Don't you love them? So, of course, hopefully that weather's not being manipulated by HAARP. And this is not the HAARP we're talking about from heaven either. This is a HAARP system, which is a weather-controlled system using focused RF waves. So it's again, everything's manipulated. Everything that has been created naturally, that he creates, that he provides the rain and the seasons and all those wonderful things when we follow him in love, that is, in his commandments. It's our protection and it's our life. It's, to give us energy and sustenance and life-giving. So anyway, so there's the HAARP. And like I said, it's not from heaven. And then, but maybe then after that, your weather might get a bit messed up. Your hair might get a bit messed up because of this crazy weather. Or could it be the cross-contamination of, I wonder what could be next. Maybe it's all the geoengineering that's going on. Remember these sort of things? Oh, my goodness. The sky's a mess as well. And this is, of course, it's the top climate scientist admits to geoengineering, which is, of course, all the stuff from from the planes that come out outside their tails. And none of us want to continue this current uncontrolled experiment. So again, toxins there, aluminium and barium, all those sort of things are getting sprayed out. And what are they doing that for? Very hard to get a very healthy salad today. The sad thing is, of course, when you're having all that, you're all ready to go out to get a healthy salad that's GMO-free, fluoride-free, toxin-free, etc., and low calories all at the same time. Having all those weather systems just hit you, and you've got, nasal congestion and everything after all those geoengineering chemtrails. Because now the horrible thing is it's just messed up all my makeup that I was put on. Crazy! Oh my goodness! So, but basically now, because now it's just messed up my hair and makeup, and so I'm no longer going out for tea. But instead, rather than going out for tea, maybe it's time to rather avoid the GMOs. It's probably a good thing to do anyway. So now opting to stay at home for a sulfur dioxide wine at home. So, the sad thing is that even the wines today have got preservatives, it's sulfur dioxide, which has given me a damn headache. So thank goodness we can reach for the aspirin. Wow, what a system. And by golly, this is what so many of us have fallen into. Because the reality is the pharmaceuticals, which is the merchants of this world, the sorcery and the witchcraft, which is part of this whole Isis goddess thing, is the pharmaceutical industry does not create cures. They just create customers, and this is just the way it is. They don't know anything else. They don't get taught how to do anything else. Simply and really, they get taught how to do drugs. And I think we all know that. And again, it's trickery. It's profit. And this is how people, they've got to have sickness to keep these people employed. And it's farmed, literally, by the pharmaceuticals, not the pharmacists. Again, the solution comes down to, please, there is hope. When we meet him at the cross, he will give us our love. He will show us the way. All you've got to do is have faith. Amazing thing is that while all that's such a mess, it really is so many chemicals and so many things. You've got, like say, the chemtrails, the classic conspiracy theorists. This is what I was thinking. You think we're conspiracy theorists? No, actually, it's factual. Look around you. Everyone's getting sick. What are we getting sick for? Our water, our land, our food, everything, and then we go to the pharmaceuticals. We keep running back to this whole system which feeds itself. If we didn't have all this going, it wouldn't survive. That system would be dead. If everyone actually did the right thing by following his commandments in love, truly, because he'll show you the way, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Because his solution, coming to him and acknowledging him, is that he'll make everything clean again. He once has them. This is what he created, perfection. He is his day 2. This is when he created us, created the world, is that sky and earth have boundaries to be pollutant free. You're not going to see any chemtrails anymore. You're not going to see any HARP systems anymore. And the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it, for he founded it upon the seas and established it upon the waters, which is Psalm 24, verse 1 to 2. Now that's worth celebrating, and that gives us hope.